Comedy in the 2000s was an unmatched era compared to what we've seen in years prior. The raunchy adult jokes, unforgettable characters, raw humor, created by directors such as Adam McKay, Todd Phillips, Judd Apatow, Mike Judge, and the list goes on and on. In 2007, one of the most prolific comedies in recent time was released. A story of two inseparable friends endure their last few weeks of school and on the path to inevitably go their own way for college. They try to make the most of it with one big party involving them to score alcohol for everyone in hopes of scoring in another way before heading off to college. Their plan goes off the rails in a so-called failed attempt by their other mutual friend, and that's just the beginning. Corrupt cops, unhinged party hosts, and laundry detergent beer? Yeah, that's a thing, I guess. Tonight, we get 13 beers to go as we do a discussion of sorts on the 2007 comedy hit Superbad. This is a Comic Talkers production, and you are listening to a Watch Yourself Fool edition of Just for Flicks. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Patty B. Um, with me as always is Mr. V Dog, Mr. Brandon. What's going on, man? How are we doing tonight?
You just sounded like you dropped a deuce and you were enjoying it.
I don't know why, like when I said it, it came out so smooth and it just felt good saying it, so I just kept it. So
you
glad I rolled with it.
might want to check your pants on that one, buddy.
Yeah, we're good. No moisture back there.
No, I'm doing good. Yeah, we're gonna go into super bad.
Super bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but you know, but this is my
Parts of the
first
movie
time
that were
ever
bad.
watching it. I have never seen this movie. Yes, fans. Like I said,
Shock. 18 years after the fact of it being released, this is Brandon's first time watching Superbad.
like we've
Yeah,
talked
man.
about many times through the comedy, I'm
Yeah.
not a big comedy movie fan. I
Yep.
will watch comedies, but it's got to grab my attention within the first
Yeah.
15 minutes or I'm done. And
You got to be hooked.
yeah,
Yeah.
and but that's why I said this one, you pitched it. And yes, I will admit it, you pitched this one.
Yeah, I'll admit it. I pitched it, and I will say this as well, and I might have mentioned it off air before we did this. I after kind of getting prepared for this and watching the movie a few times over and over again, kind of regret, but we're doing it for you guys. Um, we're doing it anyway. We're just doing the
so,
damn thing.
so I think we should have
There's
went back to bench warmers or
no,
no.
don't no. That was a dark time.
That was a dark time. Yes, fans. If you guys want to listen to this episode, let us know in the comments because Pat and I did do an episode about benchwarmers, and we decided not to release it because of the fact being of how bad that movie has aged.
Yeah.
This movie is kind of up there too.
Well, I think when we recorded the Benchwarmers, you got to think too. This was a time when we that was like the early archives of our podcast.
That was
So
before the podcast even became a podcast.
yeah. So I don't know if that might stay locked up forever.
Or fans, let us know. We want to hear.
Or Brandon, shut up. How about that? Thank you. No, man, what was your initial thought? Because I know this is one I pitched to you, and this is one I've always loved growing up, at least. Now it's a little bit different, but like you not seeing this, you obviously are familiar with the actors involved and the actresses. This being Emma Stone's debut, which is crazy to think with all the success she has had in the past years. But like, what was your initial takeaway from this movie in general? Like, what?
I think the first
Yeah,
thing we should start off before I kind of go into my initial thoughts. I understand where this movie kick-started a lot of these actors' careers. Because it's
100%.
not just Emma Stone's first movie;
Oh no.
it's also Christopher Mintz's first movie.
Yep.
And this, to me, was, like I said, I appreciated that it kickstarted a lot of these actors' careers. Jonah Hill's career started boosting after this. Emma
Mhm.
Stone, Michael Cera,
Yep.
Bill Hader, Seth Rogen even got more.
Well, Bill Hader was already, I think, doing SNL at this
Well,
point.
he was just starting. Yeah, he wasn't on it very long.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, go
but
ahead.
going into this, and I'll be honest, I was kind of skeptical from the beginning because I remember I had friends growing up that watched this movie. I remember them reciting lines from this movie. I just went, that's just not my type of humor. And it's sad because you would think so, because 21 Jump Street made my top 5 comedy movies of all time.
Yeah.
And it has Jonah Hill too. But I think I prefer Jonah Hill in that than this. I'll be honest right away. Like Jonah Hill to me in this movie, after watching it, it was just one of those movies that with him, I just went, he went a little overboard, if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I did not find myself,
Obnoxious.
yeah, very obnoxious.
His character comes off very obnoxious. I mean, I think for you, like you were saying, if it doesn't grab you by the first 10 minutes, you kind of lose interest.
And
I
that's
can only imagine within the first 10 minutes, you kind of get in the feel of his character and you're like, man, this character is not for me. I could totally see that with you. And even for me, after watching it a few times, I start to realize, man, dude, Seth is just, ugh.
like, I'll be honest, there's only one scene I really enjoy with Seth in it. Is
Yeah.
when he's in the store trying to rob or trying to talk himself
Oh yeah,
to
and
alcohol.
I was gonna get that too. So that's one of my favorite parts, not favorite parts of the movie, but like an appreciated part that I like is the illusions. Like
Yeah.
either him going back in time to the fourth grade incident with Becca, or him having the illusions in the supermarket, and
Oh, the
it's three
illusions.
different illusions. Like he him pulling out the $80 bill. He's
Yeah,
like,
that made me laugh.
yeah, dude, it's so good. Yeah. And she's like, "Would you like me to buy you alcohol?"
Yeah, and then the security guard going at him the way he does. It just, it just, like, my favorite scene in that whole thing is when he's trying to tell what's his face, McLovin, to go in the rob. He goes, no, I work at this store. If they know I'm not 21, my fake ID is not going to work.
I should
And
have kept on the vest.
yeah, and and he goes in and yeah, man, and Evan is sitting there and he's going, he ain't gonna rob the store. He'll be back in a week. He's all talk. It's just like that, and my other favorite part with Seth's character was when McLovin shows him the fake ID. That scene got
Yeah,
good. I was McLovin. I'll put it right
yeah.
now. McLovin.
Why would it be between that and Muhammad?
Yeah, well, Muhammad is like his a popular name. Maybe you need to open a book more often. it's it's just
The ban I feel like the banter between Fogel and Seth is so good.
well,
Like
it
clearly,
be, but there were some scenes that it was just like the home ec room scene with the two.
oh yeah.
I didn't like that scene with them, and I was just like, this is kind of stupid. Like, it's like, like who cares? Like, but when he gets out of that cop car, that scene got me because I'm sitting there and he's sitting there and they realize who's coming out of the cop car flicking a cigarette. It's like, Vogel?
I want to know why you were smoking with those cops. He's like, because I fucking rule.
But McLovin to me stole the show. If it wasn't for McLovin, I don't think I would have liked this film.
I think his character, I think his, I wouldn't, I guess not in hindsight, like in the long run, it, he was the biggest person for his career to blow up. But I feel like at the time, like once he did this, like what, he was in the Kick-Ass movies.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite roles with him.
Oh yeah, he was Red Mist. Oh, he's
Yeah.
so good.
You're gonna carry a stinking bazooka? Us? Dude.
I really like him in Role Models as well because
Yeah,
I like Role Models is a really good movie.
he's in Pitch Perfect as well. People forget about that too. He's
Perfect. It's been a minute since I've
yeah,
seen the movie. Is he?
he's one of the guys that runs the acapella groups. So he's the guy that remember him and the bigger guy that kind of like host when they're doing the tryouts.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
scene where he's saying like, "Sing it." That's him. That's
Okay.
yeah. It's like he has a small role in it. But after that early 2000s, you don't see, or like late 2000s, early 2010s, you don't see much of him anymore. It
No.
kind of dies off a little bit.
No.
And it's sad, but I think it's also the time of where he became popular. And that was during these movies. Like, like what was it? I think the last one I think I remember seeing him in was what? This is the end?
Yeah. Was that? And that was 2013 when that came
Yeah.
out.
Because
That was
that was a super bad reunion. That
12 years
all
ago.
three of them in it.
Yeah.
Jonah, Michael, Cera, and him. It just but you know, like we said, this is a thing of first because wasn't this they I was reading on this a little bit before we jumped on the podcast, but they actually said so Seth Rogen actually wrote this with Evan Goldberg, right?
Mhm.
They say they actually started writing this at 13 years old.
Yeah. That was I saw that too, and that's crazy. Like it's crazy how a thought took that long to come to fruition,
Yeah.
like and actually be a Hollywood, picture. I think probably Judd Apatow had a lot to do with helping Seth Rogen out
Mhm.
and wanting to produce this. He didn't direct it, but he did produce it. I forget the director's name. I had it up here just a second ago. But yeah, no, it's just crazy. And you can kind of, because I've watched other movies that Seth Rogen's been involved with as far as like writing for like jokes and all that stuff. You can definitely tell like he's got his hands on this. Like, Sausage Party. There was what was that really good Christmas movie they did?
Office
Uh,
Party or Christmas or oh, I know which one. It's the one with Anthony Mackie and him and Joseph
yeah,
Gordon-Levitt.
yeah.
The night before.
The Night Before. That was a good movie. Um,
Yeah.
eh, eh, eh.
Yeah. What is
Michael,
there?
Michael, I love Michael Shannon in that movie.
I
Um,
forget he's in that movie.
yeah, he's like a hobo Jesus or something, something like that. Yeah. A lot of people, yeah, we sidetrack so much.
Hey,
Dude,
that's what makes it great.
that's Eminem's stepdad right there.
Talking about Eminem, did you know this was actually his favorite movie, or he lists this as his favorite movie of all time? Super,
Really, it's super bad, huh?
super bad. And to answer your director question, it's Greg Matola.
That's the one. I knew it was a start with a G.
Yeah, he's a G. I like your
He's a
cut,
G.
G.
Um,
I like your cut, G. But that, and it's like we said, this is the first of everything because this is Jonah Hill's first leading role
yeah.
as an actor.
Yeah, because he had been doing smaller roles like Accepted.
Yeah,
He's got that really short scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin
yeah.
where
Oh,
he brings those sparkly boots to the eBay store.
I forget about that.
He's like, I just want to return these. And he's like, well, this isn't that kind of store. You have to like send them in.
Yeah. But for this to be, and we also see Rogan's friendship at the time, of course, since then their friendship is no longer valid with James Franco because his brother is in this movie in a little small.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
mind you, this isn't the first time Jonah Hill and him play in a movie with each other.
Mhm.
They're in 21 Jump Street with each other. There's a lot of things with these two actors, and I really enjoy. But the other highlight about this movie was Bill Hader's and Seth Rogen's characters. With McLovin was some of the best scenes of this movie. The two cops and McLovin running around like the 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 one scene I enjoy the most is the first scene you see with them where
Yeah.
McLovin is going in trying to buy the alcohol
Oh, yeah.
and he gets punched.
Well, dude, I was thinking about that. Maybe that's why Eminem likes this movie so much because they kind of referenced to him when He's like, oh, do you look like Eminem? Like Marshall Mathers, the rapper Eminem. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of circular. He's like-
Well, he also goes by
Well,
McLovin, and that's the only name he goes by. Yeah.
yeah. No, that whole part when Slater and Michaels, yeah, like that is one of my favorite. The movie doesn't really kick off, it seems like, until you kind of get to
To
that
that
part.
30-minute point.
Because then that's kind of where the whole night unfolds. And obviously, you know my love for movies that take place in one day. This is another valid reason why I like movies like that, is a movie such as this, if it's done right, it's a good product. But yeah, no, like this that scene where that whole going into the liquor store scene, it's
Yeah.
like I've this beer, I've heard they changed the recipe on it and they've added more hops to it. Just like stupid shit. Like you don't need to say that. Like stop blowing your cover.
But see,
Uh,
this is where, yeah, but see, those are like, see, to me, this is where, and I'll mention this while we're talking about Bill Hader and Seth Rogen. You can see in this movie where they're more, how do you say it? They're more well versed in the world of comedy.
yeah.
They've been around, they've done all this, all that, right? Jonah Hill, again, this was his kind of his first leading role.
Hmm.
This was Michael Cera's kind of like first breakout role. Well, yeah, Scott Pilgrim, but I'm just saying during that same time.
He was also in Arrested Development
Oh yeah, I forget he's in that
for
too.
this too.
I
So I
forget.
mean he was doing that, and that was a pretty, I mean, it was a hit show at the time.
Was Scott Pilgrim before or after this?
After
It was after.
it
Okay.
was. I believe Scott Pilgrim was like '09 or 2010.
Okay. And this one was 08, 07 time frame.
This is '07, yeah.
That's why I said that's why I said it's like you can tell that those actors were really well versed in the world of comedy, where you have Cera and you have Hill kind of come into like trying to develop a new sense of comedy, but it felt forced. And I didn't like that. I think that's why I hated that first 15-20 minutes of the film, because it
Yeah.
was like F this, F that, every 5 words out of his mouth.
Well, yeah, and it seems like everything that comes out of Seth's mouth is so like vulgar. It's just
Yeah.
it's like it's really aggressive. The way his demeanor is towards his friends. I mean, you
He's
think
like he's the Eric Cartman to everybody else. Exactly.
that's perfect. No, that is a perfect
He is. That's exactly.
comparison right there. No, that was you hit it right on the money.
He's the Eric Cartman of this group.
Hey guys. Hey guys, it's got some alcohol.
Back my thought there. um, but going back, there's another scene, and I love with McLovin is when he shows the cops his ID for the first time, and they glare right on him. It's like, and they're sitting there like talking. Oh yeah, we got the same thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or,
No.
or organ donor. Yeah, yeah. It's like so stupid.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, what was that joke? He's like, they're just like a woman. Even after you're dead, they want to tear your heart out.
Yeah. That's what I said. It just that's what I said. Like going like what I know what about you, Pat? What are some moments that you enjoyed about this film?
Well, certain parts of it for sure. I love one thing I want to just start off the bat with this is I love the realism in this movie, as far as it's not like a very hokey comedy movie, like cheesy. Like I'm not saying like Anchorman is a perfect example. It's more of like an over the top cheesy comedy movie, right? It's a little bit more, there's costumes involved because it's a timepiece a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a more set in the time movie. This is a raw story about two friends that are going to school, experiencing their last few weeks of high school and getting an opportunity to be the big hit of this party in providing alcohol for it. I know that's a really in-depth description, but bear with me here. I just think that this film, the way it's shot, the way the jokes are delivered, I think this kind of ties right into my next thing is that first party scene sequence. when the guy that hits Seth with his car, he's like, "Well, you better find us a shitload of what does he say? A shitload of
Alcohol, or
alcohol, or you're
or
going to prison."
or was it no? He gave him two options: get me a shitload of money, get me a shitload of alcohol, or go to prison. And then,
Yeah.
oh, my back!
Oh,
Oh no,
I don't know that guy's name, but he is so good in all their movies. Like he's in I Love You, Man. That I got everything you got, everything
he's
you
in
got.
Brooklyn 91 or Brooklyn
Is
911. Yeah,
he's in Pineapple Express.
he's in Pitch Perfect as well.
I'm
Joe
not impressed.
Joe Lo Trujillo.
Yeah, he's so good. Who's gonna get laid? You. That's who.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I just that first party sequence, when they're going, he's taking them to his friend's party.
yeah.
And dude, when it that whole slow motion and they're playing Ted Nugent's Stranglehold, it's fucking gets you in the mood, man. I love that. I love that song. And even just that whole time that they have there, right? The whole dude's girlfriend dancing on Seth, getting the Merlot, as they call it. I love the whole singing in the drawing a blank here with Evan singing in the room. They're making him sing and all that. And did you see all the actors in that room alone? Like the guys that are in, man, you have what's that dude's name? He's in everything. He's the head elf in Santa Claus. He's in it. He's in
Yeah,
that scene for a
I know which
second.
one you're talking about. David Krumholtz. Yes.
David Krumholtz. There it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. He's in it for a second. Another one of the other guys that's in not Jay Baruchel, but one of the I think it's like Martin something. Um, he's in a bunch of their movies too, like Knocked Up. He's in Adventureland with Jesse Eisenberg. But
Martin
yeah,
Starr.
that Martin Starr. Yep.
Yeah,
He's
if you guys don't know who Martin Starr is, go look at Spider-Man Homecoming and all that because he's one of the teachers.
yeah.
Yeah. I forget he's in this movie too. I
Yeah.
forgot
Yeah,
all.
I love Martin Starr. I like Martin Starr. I like Martin Starr in Adventureland with
Yeah.
Jesse. They're perfect. That's a perfect little duo right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's that whole scene, like, and then the fight breaking out, and then, Tiger got out of the cage, man. Sorry, Mark. Tiger got out of the cage. And what's crazy is that the guy that plays Mark, it's crazy to think of all the stuff that he's been in, being in he was in Goodfellas.
I forget he's in that one.
People forget about that. He's Henry's little brother in
Yeah.
Goodfellas in the wheelchair. I'm stirring it. I'm stirring the sauce.
Kevin Corrigan.
What's that?
Kevin Corrigan.
Kevin Corrigan.
Yeah.
But I know I alluded to it earlier, the flashback scenes or the illusion scenes throughout the film, right? You have those ones that we just talked about with the supermarket at with Seth and everything trying to get the liquor. The whole backflash scene with him as a little kid and the drawings and all that stuff with Becca. And I think there's another one with, is it Fogel, where he talks to his love interest. He's like, I told her what time it was.
Yeah.
Just, I just, and I think it kind of goes back to the whole realism thing. It's like they're trying to give you depth of the story that they're trying to tell. And you're not going to see that. You're not going to see complex stuff like that in a movie like Anchorman or even like Wedding Crashers is more of like a rom-com or something like that, you know?
I think one of the things that you got to bring up, and I think that's why that first 15 minutes does feel like it drags on, is because they are trying to set up these characters. These are all angsty teenagers about to go off to college who want to get down before they go to college. And the thing is, it's like, it's just the way they approach it. But yeah, once you get to that 30, 25, 30-minute mark, when you
Mhm.
start seeing some of these other actors come into play, it really like speaks volumes. Like it starts to kind of get that humorous vibe that you're supposed to get, Like
Well,
I agree with you with the illusion scenes. That kind of was the first laugh I had. That
yeah.
and the fake license. Like that those two moments made me laugh a lot. Like but go ahead, Pat. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, no, I was just gonna say too, like with the whole it feeling more of like a realistic story is also think of the story that you're telling, but also think of the time. how long this movie is, the approximate time. This movie is like almost an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, as I say, it's close. It's about an hour
That's a,
2. Yeah,
that's a long comedy. Let's be real here. I mean, typically most comedies, especially around that time, the more,
hour 30.
cornier or, exactly an hour 30 tops. You got like, Semi-Pro's not even an hour 30, or like Anchorman, I think it's just over an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that, Road Trip, all that kind of stuff. This seems like, there I think was so much thought put into this. Obviously, we're talking about Seth Rogen starting to write this with his friend at an early age, what, 13 you said?
Yeah.
So think of the age that Seth Rogen was at this time. He's probably what, in his 30s at this time, I would assume.
Well,
Late
yeah,
20s.
like late 20s, early 30s. I would
Yeah,
say.
so I mean, just think of the thought and like just all of the smart jokes that are written in this movie. It is just insane. Like just the thought behind them. I'm not. I won't say the ones I want to say. I won't say. You can watch the movie for yourself. But man, there's just so much thought and detail, and especially the deliverance. And I think that's why I like Evan's character so much, is the way his wittiness and the way he just says stuff casually.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, oh wow, that's funny the way he just said and the way he said it. I think, by the way, I think Michael Cera would be perfect in a Wes Anderson movie. I think he's made for it.
What are
Um,
you? Why are you always going? You want me to tell you the other one I thought about that? Like even Christopher, I think you pull it off with a Wes Anderson film. I knew exactly watching this film. I was like, Pat's probably thinking one of these guys belong in a Wes Anderson
Dude,
film.
Michael Cera for sure belongs in a Western. He's made for it.
Like, but going back to like other moments that we like I said, the cops have numerous scenes in this
Yeah.
that makes you laugh. Like like thinking when they're trying to go through the stoplight and they put on their lights just to go, and it's a
Yeah.
common growl. That was pretty funny. You have the bar scene when they're at the bar. That makes me laugh too. It's like, McLovin, stop him. And he's like,
by the way, I love when they get on that bus, right? And then they run back into the homeless guy. It's you, McMuffin. That line kills me every time, man. Oh shit. But no, like you were saying too with the cops, like I really enjoyed the bond between Slater and Michaels and McLovin. Like they say in the movie, it kind of reminds them a little bit of themselves, right? And that's kind of why they gravitated towards McLovin and wanted to help him.
well, like even Slater. Now, I was reading this too. Did you know Hader was actually offered a lot of cop roles because of this movie?
Really?
Because they loved how he portrayed his character.
He's good, man. He's easily one of the best
Like
characters in.
he doesn't come off humorous. That's
Mhm.
the best part of it. And Hader's really good at that. Like, but it's sad because when you really look at SNL and his time during that, he is probably the one actor that breaks character the most when something funny is really said. Like, like Stefan and all them moments, like you could see how hard he tries to keep character, but he breaks every so often. And it's
Yeah.
so for him to do this without breaking, it
Mhm.
makes me laugh because it's like, how can you do that? Um, the the other scene I love with them is the where they hit Seth with the police car. They're like, hey, so this is what we're going to do. And he tells McLovin, he's like, smoke him up, live like there's no tomorrow. And he goes, so this is what we're going to do. I need you to fill out an incident report or a witness report saying that pretty much this guy just jumped up in front of your car and it was too late for us to stop. And that's when McLovin goes
Like
out and
you
notices.
like you like Officer Slater and myself, right? He's like, yeah, you got cool. He's like, yeah, we really like you too. So yeah, then he cuts to all that. No, it's so I love how crooked cops they are, and especially like Seth Rogen's character is a rookie, right? He's new.
Yeah.
You I knew you would like the whole Star Wars
Yeah.
thing. Young young Padawan. Or they're doing the whole lightsaber fights, and then that's how. But
No, that's why I said it's just so funny to
yeah,
these guys really like this is where I say for Chris or Christopher to really or Mintz to really get into a comedical role like this, those are the best two to be partnered up with. Like to
Oh yeah.
see like Seth Rogen, I know nowadays is kind of like calmed down with the comedy stuff and kind of went on to new projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He still does stuff with comedy, but not as like he did here or his early days or like the interview and stuff like that. It's just like I said, it's just one of those. It was just a good role for him. Like I just felt like for him to kind of be the veteran for the first time ever instead of being the newbie, I actually thought worked for Seth Rogen and Bill
Yeah.
Hader on top of it was great. The only thing is I like I said, the things that we disliked, like I said, the big one for me was Jonah Hill's character, and it's sad because I love Jonah Hill. He is
Yeah.
he is a great actor. We have seen him in a comedy role. We have seen him in drama roles. We have seen him in that. This is by far probably my least favorite role of his.
Yeah.
It and I don't necessarily blame it on him. He did what he had. But the thing is like this is not to me a role that I would think of them in.
Yeah. I mean, there's other Jonah Hill movies that right off the top of my head that I would watch before this. Like obviously his supporting role in Wolf of Wall Street, I think is probably still to this date one of his best roles. Uh
Really? I would
I
put
mean, I would say I think also War Dogs. Have you seen War
yes,
Dogs
that's a
with
good
him?
movie. That one I do like with him and Miles Taylor. Mhm.
Miles Teller, yeah. I think that's one of my personal favorites of his. Uh I'm trying to think what else.
Moneyball. I'm shocked you haven't brought that
Moneyball,
up.
yeah. No,
Money,
he's good at Moneyball.
that's where he got his Oscar nomination for best supporting. Like
That's right.
he was nominated for that. It was a good role for him. For that was kind of my first, like that was his first
He
serious
didn't
role.
get nominated for Wolf of Wall Street either as
I think he
supporting.
did, but that
I
remember
think he did.
Moneyball came first.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
Yes.
no.
No. Yeah, it did because Moneyball was 2009, 2010.
Was it? I thought Moneyball was
No,
2014.
2013 was Wolf of Wall Street.
It was. I remember that. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was starting to
Better
think.
be.
Yeah, bitch.
Anyway, but that's the whole thing. Like, it wasn't too long after this one came out, too, that he played in Moneyball. And for me to really sit there and watch that movie and then go back to watch this, it was like, wow, you really had a change for this role. Like, it wasn't his vulgar self, all that. Like, after that, that's what made it hard for me to look at him in comedy, I think, because it was
Yeah.
like, you're such a great drama actor. You can
Mhm.
portray these roles. And that's why I think I was scared when I watched 21 Jump Street for the first time because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like you in this because you're so iconic to me now with the Moneyball and all.
Oh yeah.
But now he's iconic to me because of 21 and 22 Jump Street. Like that to
Yeah.
me, my two favorite movies with him.
Well, and
But
like you said, yeah, I think he gets kind of now mixed in with the shuffle of a more serious actor, just because of now he's he's definitely one of those actors that's transformed himself with the movies from the movies he started with to the movies he's making today. I mean, even Jonah Hill directed, I think that mid-90s movie. It's like the old indie film he did. It's really good, by the way. It's like a coming of age movie. You should guys listening should check it out. Mid-90s is what it's entitled.
oh, I
Um,
thought you said it was from the mid 90s. I was like,
no. It's
what?
called mid-90s.
Oh, I was like, what? What are you
You ever
talking
seen it?
about? No.
You never seen like the cover for it or anything? Okay. Yeah, but I mean, and that's a more serious movie too. So it's just like goes to show, like, yeah, he's got a sister too, I believe.
Yeah. That's
And
why
she had that big breakout role on that FX docu-series with the whole Clinton. The
oh yeah, I forget she's in that
she was
one.
Monica Lewinsky in it.
Yeah,
So
I forget she's in that
um,
movie or in that
but
show.
yeah, I mean, even going to Michael Cera, like Michael Cera was, he was established, but this really made him t take off. And I know He did, I think he did Juno after this. Juno was like
Yep.
in 2009.
Yeah. It was
Um,
shortly after. It was
that
either right
that
before
was a
or
big move. That was a huge movie. I remember when that movie came out. So I mean, he has Superbad and Juno within 2 years of each other.
and Scott Pilgrim came out for him.
Um,
That was an iconic cult. That's a cult classic now, but it's still iconic.
that was a movie I never really liked when it came out. I was like, this movie's kind of zany. I was like, it's kind of weird.
Which one?
Scott Pilgrim.
Really? Like I didn't mind
Thought it
it.
was kind of. I just thought, no, it's good now. I like the meaning behind it and everything.
I, for a lot of people that don't know this, a lot of people don't realize that is actually a comic book. And so people like it was a black and white comic. So that's the reason why I didn't care for the movie. And I liked it, but I felt like some of the jokes were just not hitting because in that black and white book, you don't know what hair color Ramona is, right? So I was like, I swear it was blue yesterday, but it's all black and white. So how do you know what it is and what it isn't?
Yeah.
And so in the movies, it kind of takes away from that. But again, like during this time was just a breakout star. But that's why I said I think nowadays, and you bring up a good point, and I think talking about Jonah Hill brought this up. Most good comedians nowadays better be good drama actors too. And Jonah Hill's proven that, right? Adam Sandler's had a reemergence with a drama role, right?
Yep.
Will Ferrell's had good drama roles.
Yep.
It's they're like, and those make some of the best comedians when you
Mhm.
really think about it, because
Well,
they
I mean,
actually taken like an important like it's important to them to portray something, right?
yeah.
It's important for them to bring this together, and I feel like even Seth Rogen's had serious roles too. It's just
Well, and I think it's a regular thing. It's a thing that happens with comedians, right? I mean, you even got it goes all the way back. I mean, not all the way back, but I mean, even going to like Jim Carrey.
yep,
Like think of the roles that he had. Robin Williams.
yep.
I mean, such a versatile actors, both of those. I mean, how do you go from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective,
To
to
the
Man on the Moon or Truman Show or something like that? Or
or yeah, the magnificent, or the majestic,
the
you know.
Majestic. Yeah.
Yeah, you have all these great, like even Robin Williams. Okay, you go from Mrs. Doubtfire to
Patch Adams
Patch
or
Adams, or
1 Hour Photo.
Insomnia, or
Yep.
even the time before that, Dead Poets. You went from Good Morning Vietnam
To
to
Cadillac Man.
Cadillac Man, or to Dead Poet Society.
Toys.
Yeah, it shows you how versatile a comedian can be,
Yeah.
and I feel like with some of these actors, again, Emma Stone's in this, and we haven't really even dived deep into her
Let's
character. She doesn't play a
yeah.
huge part,
Mhm.
but she's like the main focus for Seth's character because that's a
That's
girl
his
he
love interest.
likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, this kick started her career, and look at her now. She's got what, two Oscar wins underneath her for
Yeah.
La La Land, and
Or La La Land. And what's the last one she did?
it was a recent movie she just did with Mark Ruffalo. Oh gosh, what is the name?
It's gonna kill me. Is
It's
it
a
called
creepy movie. I
called like
never
Mother or something, I think.
Poor Things.
Poor things. I don't know why I thought Mother.
But she was, yeah, she had Easy A shortly after. You had The Help she was in.
Easy A.
Easy A, you had that. You had The Help shortly after. This Emma Stone has made Zombieland.
Yeah. Zombieland.
Like I said, this Emma Stone has made a name for herself here too. Again, another example of how this movie boosted a lot of careers.
Hmm.
You know, and it was good. I'm not saying it like that, but
I could see Emma Stone being in a Christopher Nolan movie.
yeah, I think especially with,
Anne Hathaway being.
well, I don't
Or I didn't know if you were going to try to compare them or not.
oh
You can
gosh.
edit, you can edit that out if you want.
Uh, I like I like Emma Stone more than I like Anne Hathaway. I'm putting it.
Ooh, huh?
I don't like Anne Hathaway. Like
Uh, we
I've
shall
never
disagree.
really watched a movie of hers and really care about her, other than
Princess
maybe the
Diaries?
Princess Diaries. Yeah, exactly. But that's it. Like I don't even like her as Selena Kyle. I don't like
Selena Kyle is Catwoman, right?
her. Man, I gotta teach you Batman.
No, I got that, dude. Look at that. Come on.
Yeah, but you had a question. That is the whole
Doesn't
thing.
matter. Still got it. Give me that.
A win's a win.
A win's a win. Just win, baby. Commitment to excellence.
Groovy, baby. No. But I just think this movie, like, I don't really have much else to say other than, like I said, the language is vulgar. So if you are kind of the whole like script is kind of vulgar throughout. So if you're kind of nervous about stuff like that, I will admit, don't watch it. And it's just because I know people do take it differently. Like, I think that's why my fun or my laughter kind of died down a bit because it did become a little vulgar. But I know that's a small critique compared to anything. That's
Yeah.
why I said, like, the cops and McLovin kind of saved it for me. Because, like, even like the moments where they're out there shooting the stop sign, and then they hear the real cops, oh cops, and they get back in the car and run. Or, or when they get called to dispatch to go to a party. That was the
I-
scene I want to talk about. It's when they actually arrive at the party they're supposed to be at.
oh, dude.
That,
Like, I assume you all have guns and crack.
yeah. Every Bill Hader's dancing with a beer in his hand. Just dancing. Or when they find McLovin in the room.
Yeah.
It just,
Um,
I'm
I love
sorry that I blocked your what. Like, those moments alone made me laugh so hard through the film. It just, but it's sad that it took that long. For a comedy film, and I've noticed this with a lot of people, you have to grab their attention quick.
yeah.
Okay, for a good example, okay, we'll talk.
Yeah, it feels like by the time they get to that party, right? So much has happened, right? And you
Yeah,
feel almost kind of drained with everything that has happened. I mean, even that first party sequence when a lot happens there, right? I mean, you got that whole debacle with Seth and the dude's girlfriend, and then,
yeah, the dance they did and
the
what,
dance, and then, why you bringing your friends here, that whole thing, and
and then pouring the beer into liquid detergent.
yeah.
It just,
I don't understand.
oh, did you not see the ending when they're showing all of it and the beer looks blue?
Oh, dude, I never understand that. It's the one part of this movie. There's a couple parts of this movie that make me kind of scratch my head, and that's one of them. Another part is just
Props
how
though. At least
well,
it looked spontaneous. Like, you wouldn't really think that way, but it was his way to sneak beer
I
out.
want to get to the point of how ridiculous some of this stuff is. Well, not I just this one thing that I can't get it off my mind because if this were to happen, this movie would be pointless.
What, the woman going to veterinary school or
No.
tell the veterinarian?
Why doesn't Jules' older brother just buy the liquor?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Because if that were the case, none of this shit would be like needs to happen. You know what I mean? Like so that's like and she doesn't even and my thing is like she doesn't even ask him. It's just, oh, let's just ask Seth.
Pat, let me give you something here.
It's a
It's called a plot device. You got to give it something.
well, the device fucking sucks. No, the device you could have a better device. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Better
But
device.
like, but that's what I said. It was good for what it was. I don't know if I'd watch it under my fruition ever again. Like, under, if somebody wanted to watch it or they were watching it, I wouldn't mind sitting down and watching it, but I would never go on my own to watch it ever again. Like,
Yeah.
it's just one of those, like, it's there.
No, I agree. I think with after prepping for this and watching it a few times, I'm all super bad out for a while. I'll probably watch it in a couple of years when, I kind of forget about it and then I realize it kind of comes back to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that movie. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that happens for me because yeah, this it's good. It's got there's reasons why this movie was big and had the success that it did.
Yeah.
But, there's also certain things about it that don't age well and can be cringy at times. And, that's also for the people to decide. That's just what we think. Or I don't know if that's what we both think, but I like this movie for different reasons than what you like it for, but nonetheless, we like the movie, so for what it is. But yeah,
Exactly.
but yeah, I think anything else you want to cover with this?
Well, I think the best way to go out is
I
pretty
got
much.
some trivia for you if you'd like.
Yeah, I figure we do some trivia, but I think a good way before we get into that is how we rank it. Like, I'll put it right now. I put it probably at a 6.
Ooh, you're gonna be surprised with me.
Are you lower?
I am.
Like
I'm
how
not
much?
lower.
Like originally, I
One.
had like a 4.9,
So
but
I
again, I can kind of see the humor come out a little bit. But like, I'll give it a little lower. I'll probably say I give it like a 5.6, 5.7.
yeah, I did 5.9 on
Okay.
mine.
Oh wow, you're 1 point off.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like we were close. I happened to be in that five scale. So I no, I love the movie. I like I said, I love the realistic feel of it and the jokes, just the character development. But I just after watching it, like you said, man, there's just a lot of sometimes it feels forced jokes, especially with Seth's character, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of parts of it that just feel kind of cliche, and I don't know. Some of it doesn't age well, and some of it is just like
It's a
I said,
product of its time. Like I think that's a
for sure, for sure. And like doesn't mean I'm not shitting on the movie here. I love this movie. I just
slightly are though. We are slightly shitting on it, even though we've had a good.
I'm not trying to sound like I'm shitting on it because I really enjoy this movie. I just, like you say, it's a product of its time, and it's not a movie. It's not a rewatchable comedy movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's other rewatchable comedy movies. Like I'm sorry, I keep bringing it back, but you got Anchorman, you got Talladega Nights, you got the other guys. These are all ironically Will Ferrell movies. I'm sorry. Let's throw Happy
Wedding
Gilmore.
Crashers,
Yeah, they're Wedding Crashers. That's another Will Ferrell. That's what they would say.
you know
Um,
what? Eat my shorts. No.
okay, Judd Nelson.
Okay, I'll think of another one here. Crap, there aren't really a lot of good ones that doesn't have Will Ferrell in
I know. I know. Go ahead, I'll wait. Liar, liar.
21 Jump Street
Yeah,
doesn't have Will Ferrell in it.
cool.
I almost said Zoolander, but then I forget Will Ferrell is the main
That's a movie I have not watched, and I don't think I ever
And
want
then
to watch that.
we can't even say Austin Powers because he's also in the first
Oh
two.
God, he is. He's in both of them.
He's in
He's not.
the
He's
first
not Gold
two.
member. He's in the first two though. Oh my gosh, I forget.
Will Ferrell is everywhere.
Dude, what is happening?
Almost at Night at the Roxbury too.
I hate you for that. Don't do that. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Not the Roxbury. Ah, that's such a good movie. That's such a terrible good movie. That's like the worst good movie ever.
I'm gonna go look it up on Google. Like there has to be there Pineapple Express.
Yeah?
That's one without him.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh man. But yeah, so all right, what's your trivia?
All right, yeah. Getting sidetracked. Almost forgot that we had trivia for Mr. B Dog. All right. How many months has Officer Michaels been on the police force?
It's not very long. I want to say it's like 2, 3 months. Or
It is 6 months.
okay.
That's like a number one. I just threw it out there. What college is Evan and Fogel attending?
Dartmouth or yeah, Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth. I was close. Dartmouth. Okay.
Dogmouth. You got it. Dogmouth College.
Dogmouth. Braun Breaker right there, or Steiner brothers.
Go dogs, go dogs.
Okay, Dartmouth or yeah, you get it. I got
This
it.
is a this is a fun one. What song is Evan made to sing at the party?
I know the scene. I can't remember though the song.
These eyes
I would have been.
cry every night
I forget.
for you.
I forget about.
These eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna see another one like I
Yeah,
have.
I remember
You.
now. I would have guessed that one.
These eyes are crying. Sorry.
Big
I don't know.
Muffin. Get to the
Am I
next
gonna
question.
am I gonna get a copyright for that? I don't know.
Yes, more than likely.
Now I was fucking getting into
Or
getting
people in the comments saying, "Keep to your day job."
sorry folks, you had to listen to that, but I really broke into it. Um, what state is McLovin's ID from?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. That was a really easy one there. Why does Officer Slater always take a call at a bar?
Because you always get a free beer out of it.
There you go.
I got 3 out of 5.
You did.
Okay,
I have a bonus one. This is like a bonus question. You want it?
sure, let's do it.
What drink is Evan tasked with getting Becca?
Can I get? Do I have to get the exact name, or can I tell you what alcohol? Because I know what
Well,
alcohol is. It's vodka.
it is vodka, but I
It's a
feel like
glitter. Can I describe it? Because I don't know the exact name, but I
you can
know what it.
describe it.
It's
Describe it,
gold.
and then
It's
I'll
Gold
give
Flake vodka. It's the
gold
Gold Flake.
gold slick vodka. But
Yeah.
yes, you got it. You know.
Yay!
You get the bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get the bonus question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make me terminate you. My son Patrick just got a nice roll in the White Lotus. Yeah. I don't know why. By
Love
the way,
McLovin. Yeah.
I'm really that is a fucking I got a terrible Arnold impersonation. That is awful.
You
All
do
right,
the
man. Well, yeah,
job.
that that does our trivia, man. Yeah, like I said, super bad. It can be some parts are super bad, but a lot of parts are super good, and that's why we love it so much.
It could be really super bad, huh?
It can be super bad, but it can be super good.
Ooh.
Oh, oh no. Uh-oh, you just opened up Pandora's box. Not
Where's
make
Goofy?
oh, oh no. I'm about to be super bad. McLovin's a made up fucking name. Why would it be between that and Muhammad?
Read a book. Oh man.
I think you need to get us out of here. We're fucking digging a hole right now. We need to get out. We need to float up. Float up and fly.
I got another one ready.
We need to think happy thoughts.
I'm not happy, Bob. Oh,
All
that's
right.
what you do? Yeah, I'm not happy, Bob. Why did you get a license or an ID from Hawaii?
All right. Well, we have broken Brandon, and we have enjoyed this lovely discussion on Superbad. Hope you folks have enjoyed it. No, I'm just kidding. Brandon.
Take us out. All right. Thank you guys for listening. uh, I hate you. Were you trying to be Michael Scott and go down the elevator?
I was doing the
Yeah. But fans, thank you guys for listening to this super bad episode of J4F podcast. Check us out, J4F Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Check us out on Spotify and YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell notification so you never miss an episode. And Patty B, take us out.
Thank you guys for everything. Thank you, Mr. B Dog, for being super bad with me on this super bad episode. Remember, we do it just for